Welcome to Gail's Garden Herbs and More. The first thing about harvesting herbs is enjoy it. Oh my goodness. This is my valerian plant. And you know, if you know anything about valerian, mostly you just use the roots, but they stink. Everybody says like old socks. I don't know, but it does stink. But amazingly, the flowers are one of the sweetest, most wonderful smelling things you've ever smelled. And I walk in this part of my garden and I can just smell it getting close to this area. My daughter was here the other day and I told her, this is my valerian. I said, smell the flowers. She was real hesitant. She goes, doesn't it stink? And I said, the roots do, but just smell the flowers. So she hesitantly did. And then she goes, oh my goodness, my goodness. She got so excited and she says, can they bottle that for a perfume? That's wonderful. Well, got interrupted. Have to redo this whole segment over. Okay, I'm not sure. I got totally taken off track of what I was talking about and my plan. But anyway, have to go with things the way they are. One of the things about harvesting herbs is if you harvest early in the morning, you get more of the essential oils in general with your herbs. They're just the freshness. If you'll notice at different times of the day, if you'll go and smell your different plants in the garden, you'll notice in the mornings the smell is usually fresher. I mean, there's more of it. So it's a good time to harvest. This morning I was harvesting my sage, and I didn't get a whole lot because, you know, moving up here, this is my first year growing in this section at all. Last year, my other section, I brought a bunch of my pots and stuff like that, and I had some things. I didn't have much of a garden last year, though, because of the move, but I am getting some regular cooking garden sage. I'm going to dry that for this winter, and I'll just get little bits as I can. I don't want to harvest too much at a time off my plant so it will keep growing, especially since there's a lot of shade and it needs to get up here, and the leaves are trying to get up to where this and get more sun. So yeah, I don't want to harvest too much at a time, but I am harvesting some a little. I'll probably harvest a little here and there from everything throughout the summer, so that spring and summer, I guess it's not quite summer for a few more days. And yeah, okay, next I think what I'm going to harvest, I could harvest some of my lemon thyme. There's a little bit here, but I don't know if I want to harvest that. I'll have some of this most of the winter. Well, if it snows I won't, but I usually just like to come out and cut it fresh. Sometimes I have dried some, but I still have some in the house that I haven't used. So yesterday I harvested my anise hyssop. It was so huge and big that my little plant of tulsi, the unknown type of tulsi I've talked about in my other videos, I wasn't sure that well, anyway, it wasn't getting enough sun. So I said, I've got to get that harvested down. Now the sun's coming through good. Let me show you what I'm talking about, how it affects it. There's so little sun that, do you see how much bigger these two are than that one? They were pretty much all the same. These are bigger here. I'm not sure if you're seeing that or not, but yeah, these are bigger, but that's just because that one wasn't getting as much sun because this was shading it out. But it's okay now. You do have to be alert to those things in your garden, where the sun is hitting, where the shade is. Some plants, you don't even know why if you can move them. These, I'd have to dig them up to move them, but if I needed to, I might have to move them somewhere else where they would do better, but they're doing okay there. You just have to be alert to your plants and what their needs are, and make it fun. You may make some mistakes. Don't stress over it or say, oh, it's too much, it's too hard. I'm an old lady. It's not too hard for me. But I started out small in learning one plant. Once I learned that plant, another, took a few classes here and there. In person is the classes I like the best, meeting together with other herbalists or going on herb walks. But where you're really going to learn is just experimenting and growing yourself. That's where you really learn. And it's fun, and it's sad when it doesn't go the way you want it, but you still learn something from it. So anyway, let's move on. Okay, since I'm just in a little tiny place. I have no room to even hardly turn around. So I set up a table out here in my little outdoor patio I made, and it has been wonderful. I did some juicing the other day, some turnips and stuff, and cleaned it, and I had somewhere to put my stuff. Yay! So it's really nice, and this makes a good little work area for my herbs too. Oh, my electric went out. The whole electric for the area went out. I had just turned this on to give it because it rained last night. These were dry, but they've collected the moisture from the overnight and morning hours that it wasn't running. Yeah, I know I need to do that differently, but I can only do things as I can do them here. They are dry, but I can tell they've gathered a little bit of moisture, and I want them, this is my anise hyssop, to really dry well. And here I've got some of my calendula flowers. I've been using them fresh a lot, making eye drops for one of my little chihuahuas, the one that, a disabled one. He's got a lot of problems. So, sorry for all that. This is pine pollen. I can't keep it off. There's been so much pine pollen this year. It would have been the year to collect it, and I didn't. But yeah, it would have been a great year for it. I never seen so much pine pollen in all my life. Okay, this is right outside my little door, and this is lemon verbena, and it dried nice. Look how vibrant green it is. Yeah. I'm going to give it a little longer because it collected. It's crispy, but like I said, it's actually drier than the other. Lemon verbena dries really well. But I'm still going to let it set a while. I don't want to let it set too long. It still smells really good though. But let it finish off, and then I'll take it down and jar it up for lemon verbena tea. It's good to mix with regular black tea. I cannot tell you how wonderful this smells. This is my, sorry, I have to bend way down here. This is my spearmint, and I've already harvested a lot from it, but I'm going to harvest some more today. So I have some over in my pool, little kiddie pool over there growing too. Okay, now it's going to look like I'm harvesting a lot, but I'm very particular about my stuff. And a lot of it are leaves that are going to have bug stuff on them or just don't look really good. If they're not pristine, I don't use them. But these are really looking good so far. They like it up here better than where they were. The mints really like it up here because it's so much cooler. Plus, we're having a cooler year. Way cooler. I mean, it rained last night, amazingly. Not a lot, but the plants sure like it. They get that extra nitrogen from the rain. Spearmint, actually, I like my spearmint better than my chocolate mint. I love spearmint. It makes a wonderful summer tea. I call it my spearmint water. I really, really like it. And it's good in the winter for a hot tea, too. So I like to dry it and have some for the winter time. And especially if you were to have a cold or something. Now, I haven't had a cold in a long time, so. But for people that do, your mints are really good to kind of help breathe a little bit more. And yeah, that's really nice. Oh, I can see where there's some bug damage down low a little bit. It's those leaf miners. Oh, I hate those things. The bugs are much worse up here. Had some leaf mining in the valley, but it seems worse here. Plus, like I had said in other videos, the hornworms are horrible. But seeing where a little bird pooped on one of the leaves of my tomatoes over there, I thought, oh, good. That means they're out and about looking. Maybe they'll get the hornworms for me. So, yeah. Boy, my lettuces, I've got to eat a salad today. They're just loving this cool weather. Glad I have some, because you just don't think about planting lettuce for the summer. But it's my cool weather crops that are doing the best. But my others are growing pretty good. It's just a lot slower this year. Things are a lot way behind what they were. I think I'm going to leave the rest of that just to have leaves to grow on, but I got a bit in my basket. It's piled up there in the corner. It'll be good. So, I wonder if I should, since I'm doing this, just go ahead and harvest it out of my pool as well. Maybe I will. Okay, I've got a little bit here. Some of this I'm not going to keep. This has gotten kind of buggy over here compared to my pot. Buggy and, well, a lot of that's pollen on the leaves, but a lot of the leaves have been eaten too. It's good to have more than one place to keep your herbs, because like I'm not going to get much out of this bunch because it'll end up going to the chickens because it's bug riddled and yellow and looking kind of tough, and it was pretty just sitting there, but when you go to cut it and get up close, you start seeing all of that. So yeah, it needed a hair trim. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, this is my sage. I'm going to set it aside. I don't have electricity. And it's really not been hot enough to use my hanging dryer there. But I may have to just go ahead with these, and the good ones after I wash and sort through it. What are the good leaves? The bad leaves will go to the chickens. They love that. And the good leaves, I think I'll put in my hanging dryer and try it again. I don't know. It's supposed to be cool all week long. We're down in the 40s at night. Can you believe that? That's just unreal. Of course, I'm in the mountains, but still, even for up here, sheesh, at the middle to end of June. But that's okay. I would much rather have it cool than over hot. It is okay. I just have to figure out how I'm going to do things. And anyway, that's kind of the way it is dealing with plants and herbs. You just kind of have to go with the flow, do the best you can. And there are some points, though, that you need to keep in mind, like I said, like harvesting in the morning when the essential oils seem to be the highest in most of the plants. And I hope you got a few little tips and enjoyed seeing a few of my herbs. And we will catch you all next time. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you would. Bye for now. Okay, a tip for those who hung to the end. I'm always throwing things on at the end of my video. Okay, this is like, I just rinsed it out, so it's kind of, I had juiced ginger frozen in there. I put it in a baggie so I can use it for this. And then it's got a lid here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these little spearmint tips, and I'm going to stick it in here because I'm going to make spearmint cubes. This will be wonderful to put in a glass of water when it gets hot in the summer. And spearmint will be in the cube, and as it melts, you'll get just a little refreshing taste of spearmint in your water, but not a lot. It'll just be a little bit. Just enough to make it really pop, as they say. Let's put 2, because those are little in that one. Then I'm going to fill this up with water and put it in the freezer. Of course, I'm going to have the lid on so you don't get any flavors from the, here's the lid. Once I fill this up with water, put the lid on it. You don't get any flavors or off smells or anything from the freezer. These will freeze, and then I'll pop them out and put them in a baggie and freeze something else in here when I'm ready. I can leave it in here until I need the tray. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to look for a couple more little pieces. Some of them are going to have 2, some just 1. I think the rest of these I'm just going to dry. Could put this in. Let's put that one in here. Okay, let's see if there's any more little tiny ones I need to use. Yeah, here's a little one. Okay, let's put that in here. I don't know why my camera's been jumping up like that. I didn't even make it do that. My camera's been doing a lot of weird things. My phone altogether has, but that's okay. We'll manage. There's not a lot in this one. Let's put it in there. Okay, that's pretty good. We're going to fill those with water, put the lid on, and put it in the freezer. A little tip. Makes a wonderful summer ice water with a spearmint touch.